All right, thank you, John. And as John mentioned, there is a one-page handout that goes through, I think, fairly straightforward explanation or example of how Stack's been able to look at it in place in recent past. These examples use actual data for Colquitt County, Georgia, and also uses what the actual futures market prices were. And I think it is important to keep in mind, as John mentioned, this is an insurance product, would be administered by RMA. Most cotton acres in the state of Georgia currently purchase insurance products today, but that's probably the coverage level of 65 or 70%, which means that those only are indemnified when you have a 25 or 30% loss. This is a product to sit on top of that can start to generate indemnities if there's a 5 to 10% loss in the county revenue. Like current insurance products, and if you just look at the first 3 lines on the table, with current insurance products, it refers to the futures market. The December contract for cotton in a pre-planting period determines what the strike price is for insurance products today. That would be the same in the case of Stacks, with one notable exception, and that was mentioned earlier, and that's in line 2 with the reference price. If the futures market is trading below 65 cents a pound, then the establishment of projected income is based off of the 65 cents instead of the futures market. In 2007 and 2009, that would have been important. Once that price is established, it is multiplied by an expected county yield. And in the case of Colquitt County, that is somewhere between 920 and 950 pounds per acre based off their actual data. That will essentially establish a target revenue, a reference income, whatever terminology you'd like to use. In these examples, that's in row 5, between $600 and $734 per acre. That establishes a level of protection. As we get to harvest, and the crop is harvested, we know what the actual yield is for the county. That will be one of the points of data that will go into determining what the actual average county revenue was. So the yield is taken and multiplied by the harvest time value of the December futures contract, and that determines a realized or an actual income for the county. And you can see that in line 7. And really the key comparison as you look at a Stacks example in determining whether or not an indemnity is generated is to compare lines 7 and 8. The actual income in the county at the end of the year with basically the protection, the selected coverage level, which in this example is 90%, multiplied by the expected income. If there is a shortfall, then that will then generate an indemnity. You can see in the examples that we used here, indemnities would have been generated in both 2007 and 2008. The 2007 example illustrates that it was dominantly due to a lower yield, whereas the case in 2008, it was due to the fact that we started the year with a much higher price than what we closed the year with. And then you can see in 2009, it was we did not see much price variability. In that particular year, the county yield was above average and no indemnity was generated. Hopefully this will give you, at least some sense of the basic construction of Stacks and what types of conditions would potentially generate an indemnity. So that, John, I'll stop.